Sorry about that, guys. As you can see, I've got a little cough. I have been very sick the last week or two. I spent about a week in bed and I'm slowly getting back to normal. So if I cough, I'm sorry, there's not much I can do about it. Also with the sniffling. All right. I really got to get some better lighting. Don't mind the mess behind me. I'm still trying to get stuff put away and reorganized. Being sick for a week, 2 weeks really slowed me down. All right, while I wait here just for a minute, I need to grab a tissue. Oh, hopefully that'll stop the sniffling. So tonight we are doing a block, a 9-patch block, a disappearing 9-patch. It's called a disappearing 9-patch with a slant. And let me get the link. I had it, and well, then I lost it. There we go. Finally, I found it. Jeez, me forever. All right. I am gonna need to move this stuff around so that I can show y'all what we're doing. All right, so I have put the link to the video where I got the idea from in the chat. And then after the live is done, I will go back and put it in the description too. All right, so like I said, I need to rearrange things here. We don't need that yet. I've got my bowl of stuff. I think I've got enough blocks cut out for 2 blocks tonight, because I want to do one with a creamy white background and I want to do one with a black background. Whether or not we get to both of these, we'll see. So you're going to need, depending on how you want your fabric done, you'll need 3 fabrics and a background fabric, or yeah, it's your basic 9-patch, and then we're gonna jazz it up. My snips, my steamroller, some marking pins in case I need it. So here's my sewing machine and my light on here. So I've been having a small issue with the uh with Anakin here. And I think it's because it needs to be completely serviced, new grease. I've already oiled it and cleaned it, but it really needs an entire job done on it. So I'm having to order some things to do that. So hopefully I can get through this and not have an issue. Whoa, let's do that. Oops, I shouldn't have hit it that hard. Okay, so obviously we're going to need to lay out our 9 patch. I think we'll do the black background first. And I'm just using 5-inch squares. It's a basic 9 patch, like I said, so whatever size squares you want to use to make your 9 patch, that's up to you. So I have 4 background fabrics here. And those are going to go on the 4 corners. Then I have a red. And I'm just using this. I should have cut the thing off. I'm not sure where this came from, but it's just like a paintbrush or splatter or some type of grungy red. And then I'm using the creamy grunge. That's going to go in the center. And then I'm doing this grungy blue. So that'll go here first. All right. And then for my next color, I'm going to put that down on the bottom. So I have a dark red and then a slightly lighter shade. And then for my blue, I have a dark blue and a lighter blue. And there's my 9 patch for that one. And I'm going to go ahead and lay out my fabrics for the other ones too, so that I have them. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew up both 9 patches because they're going to be made the same. So same colors, except for my background. I'm just using this, it's almost like a linen fabric that I had. So it's a very creamy white, I guess you would say. All right, we got that done. Put that in the middle. Right there. Right there. That one. I've made 9 patches before, but I don't think for some reason I've ever made a disappearing 9 patch. Not sure why. Just never did. All right, so to start off, I'm just going to sew the first 2 rows together. Or, going down that across. And I'm just going to chain piece these. And hopefully Mr. Anakin here will cooperate. Get adjusted here. Not wait to get my new chair. Also, it's been really rainy here and cool. We'll have 80, 90 degree weather, 100-degree weather, and then it drops to the 60s and lower because we've had rain. Oops, my foot pedal's left. Let's give me just a second, guys. And hopefully it's gonna be warming up from what I can see the next couple of days. That just throws me into all kinds of pain. All right, here we go. And I switched my thread. I didn't really like using my big thread stand. So I'm gonna get the two different thread holders for this, the curved one that goes across, and then the spool adjuster where I can put my thread sideways. Because I didn't like using that. Back stitch. So far, so good. I'm having an issue with my bobbin tension, I think, is what it is. I'll get it sorted out. And I'm leaving enough space that, probably too much space in between the blocks, but everybody does it different. I'm still getting used to this machine, so I'm gonna go back a little further. I'm gonna leave quite a bit of space between that because the next set is a different block. This is fairly a very simple block. Oops. And I didn't have a felt, so I made my own for now. And I am going to the retreat in September. So I'm excited about that. I've never been to a retreat in person, so. All right. Last one. I am quite enjoying still on it. I just wish I could get everything figured out. Is all. So I'm gonna cut these apart from each other. Oops. And then I'm gonna leave the rest of them stitched together. I am going to trim these long threads. I will be making a video on this too, but since I haven't been live, I thought that it would be nice to do a surprise live. Now I'm just adding my third row. Just make sure I leave enough thread. This one the other way. And I did starch these heavily. You know, I thought it would be easier to fold and make the block since I have to cut it. Uh-oh. There we go. Last one. Oops. Cut these threads. Just doing a quick finger press there. I do think that if you have a lot of charm squares, charm packs that you don't know what to do with, this would be a good thing to do. Or if you have a lot of scrap 5-inch squares or whatever size squares that you have. I think it's a great idea to do it. All right, now for the next one. Here we go. I'm just going to go through quickly and fold them, press them so that they're all ready to go. All right. So as I said, this is called the disappearing knife patch with the slant. I actually did not realize there was so many different ways to do this until I saw the one video and then I went down a rabbit hole. There's some of these. Last one. All right. Now that they're also together, we just need to connect the rows. Need to sharpen my snip. Jeez. All right. So this is what it should look like. I'm gonna press these seams real quick. Oops. And that one should go that way. Right. So you should have something that looks like this. Now you're gonna lay it out. Make sure your seams are, the first row I have them going in, second row they're out, third row they're in. And I'm simply just gonna fold it over, the first row onto the second row. And because I don't have them cut, they're still connected. It's gonna make it easier for me to nest my seams. All right. Snip my threads. Open that up, and then I'm just simply gonna open it and press. So that seam will go. So seam I just sewed will go is facing up. So the next seam I sew will be facing down. See? Yeah. Uh-oh. I think my little spool thingy is working. My thread just popped. So sorry about that, guys. Give me just a second. Oh, puppy's home. Huh. Hang on. Something's wrong here. Jeez. There we go. Now I got it. All right. Yeah. I may actually have to go back to. Let me real quick see if I can get this tightened down. I thought it was tightened, but apparently not. Okay. Got that ready. this off. Let it sit there. See how that goes. All right. Let's go back here. What in the world? All right, guys, give me just a second. My thread keeps breaking and I don't know why. Oh, maybe that was why. I missed the spot. Jeez, who would have thought it would take this long? But this is one of the problems I've been having. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Because I'm not sure what it is. And it was doing it before I switched the thread. That's why I switched. I don't know if I got my tension wrong or what, but and now I can't get it this way. Oh my goodness. There we go. It's sticking to me. Sorry, guys. There we go. Now let's see if we can sew without it breaking. You always have to let the end. There we go. All right. Click this off and see how we do. Hopefully it will work. That seems to be working. Off and running. Oops. All right. All right. From all this extra thread that I got now. So there's our first 9 pat. All right, so there's the first one. I'm going to quickly sew up this second one and then we'll make it disappear. All right. Press the seams. And it's just going to sew like the last one did. Oh my God. I might actually have to start using the thread. I didn't want to use it. I guess I will. What's happening is this piece is loose where the thread goes. It's the bolt's tightened down, but it can still move. And so my thread is getting caught. And I actually don't know how to stop that. So maybe this will help. I don't know. And if anybody comes up here while we're live, I apologize. Funny, I can thread this like no tomorrow when nobody's around. All right. Let's see, I got that set right. All right, we're just gonna clip this and start over. And it usually doesn't take this long to make one, but my thread keeps breaking. So. It doesn't ever seem tight enough, the thread, when I use the thread stand, so. But oh, if it broke again, I'm gonna be so mad. Hot. There we go, we got that middle now. This one. And we're just gonna fold these seams the same way as I did on the last one. There's gonna be shadow no matter what I do because I'm using a almost see-through fabric. It was what I had, and I didn't feel like opening a 4-yard path of fabric for white. So I just used what I had. And don't get me wrong, I would have opened it if it would have been like a whole quilt or something like that, but not for 4 squares. All right, so once these are sewed together, we will cut them off. So I think next time I do a chain piece like this, and I'm using this particular machine, I am gonna actually have to make sure that I don't leave so much thread in between, because that's what's causing the issues. That's okay. All right, push this aside. Clipper threads. All right. So now I'm gonna need a ruler. Real quick. And my cutting surface. Turn this light off. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move my machine aside, and I'm just using my quilter's press 2. And I'm gonna let my iron heat up just a smidge, and I'm gonna give it a quick press so that they lay flat. I think that'll make it a whole lot easier for me to cut if it's laying flat. All right. Iron the front real quick. There we go. Now it's nice and flat. And I'll go ahead and iron the other one. I shake all the thread off. The one difference between the two is I did not starch this white background fabric. So I kind of wish I had, but I didn't. But I will next time. It was kind of a last minute thing I decided to do, and so. All right. So now that we got this all ironed, they should look like this. Okay. We're gonna lay it on our cutting mat. And I think I'm gonna grab my long ruler. I didn't think I was gonna need it, but you know. So I'm cutting it down the center. Oh, there it is. And I'm gonna cut it again through the center, going the other way. think this is the center. Let's see. There we go. Oops. Here we go. Oh, I didn't get it in the center. That's okay. I'll just cut the other one the same way. There won't be any issues. All right. So you should have something that looks like this. Okay. So you should have 4 squares that look like this. Oops. All right. Mine are a little off because I miscut that first one, but that's okay. I'll just trim them up. I'm going to trim these real quick so I don't have to worry about it. And I think I'm actually going to save, oh no. I cannot get these to line up. So I'm going to set these aside. We're going to do this one. I'm going to do it this way. Because my mat is not long enough, I can't see. Okay. So that's all good. Now I just need to line up my ruler. Like so. I have a hard time seeing tonight. I may have to cut it from the back. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. Is that how you do it, guys? Actually, I want to do this. I'm going to put it back together. See which way I like it. All right, so looks like this, and then we just flip them. Like that, and then like this. I think. So now, nothing moves. So now you're going to take your 4 squares and you're going to cut each one of them diagonally. Like so. Okay. And I very carefully so that I don't chop something off. Doesn't want to stay still. I wish I knew where my other ruler was. There we go. Oops, I just chopped my corner off by accident. Okay, so look at that, and I need to cut this one. That one there. Whoopsie. This one here. So you should have and now you just play around till you find something you like. I need to turn this. Hang on. We're gonna go here. Whoopsie. Snips. Got a little thread that didn't cut. And switch that with that. I kind of forgot which way to turn it. All right, so I'm gonna put them back together the way they were. So somehow my glue is on the opposite side. So we'll just leave it like this. Now we're gonna take I cut him in the wrong direction. Let's see if this works. Probably not. Flippy, flippy. I cut this the middle part when I wasn't supposed to. So hopefully this works. With these. And then you make a square. Now you just line them up the way you want them. But because I clipped mine, I should have cut on the opposite corners than what I did. So mine will be a little different. Okay. And then all right, so there's my first two blocks. Like that. Nope, that's not right. Here we go. There's that. With that. With that. So what I'm choosing to do is to put mine all right, so that's how I'm gonna do mine. Let's sew it up real quick so y'all can see it. It's just however you cut it, and then you just flip them around until you like it. And because I made a mistake and cut mine wrong, mine's gonna come out kind of different, and I like it. So grab my roll of pins here. And I am actually going to pin so that it doesn't move. There we go. And I'm gonna clip the top here. And clip the side. Just so that it stays. All right. Now this is one of them. This is the one where I clipped the very corner of it off by accident. So I don't know how well that's gonna work, but we'll see. All right. No. All right. I think after tonight, I am going to I ran out of bobbin. Disengage from the wheel. Push it all the way down. What? Not winding right, but oh well. All right, that was easy enough. Now if it just works. If it keeps happening, what I'll do is I'll stop the live and then change out my machines and come back tomorrow and finish it. We'll see. There we go. What is on my camera? Oh my goodness. There we go. All right, let's see if I can get it to store now. Okay. All right, we've got the first one done. Do the next one. Worked out a little better. And I apologize, guys, it takes so long to do this. For my next live, I will probably switch machines until I get this one figured out. Because it just broke my thread again. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay. I thought for sure it broke my thread. All right. Uh-oh. Okay. So All right, well. I've got a slight problem and I've got to figure out how to fix it. So I don't know how it happened, but one of my rows is going to be the same. Maybe. Hey, I figured it. No, it's still the same. So I don't know what happened, but no matter which way I go, one of my strips is going to have the same fabric against it. So I'm just going to go with it. And not worry about it. Like I said, I've never really made one of these before, so I figured I'd do it. But why not make it live the first time? However, I think my machine just doesn't want to work. Stuck. All right, guys, I am actually not going to be able to sew this together. I will post a picture of it sewed together in my community tab because my machine is acting up and I don't want to push it. It is an antique. It is over 100 years old. So, sorry about that, but thanks for everybody that came by and I will see y'all next time. Bye.